What is the greatest love story that you have ever heard? Conditioned by the silver screen and the trinity of Hollywood, Bollywood and Tollywood, I am sure that there must be a few scenes and tunes running in your mind right now. Well, no matter how big and entertaining blockbuster stories like these are, they cannot be qualified to be called love stories, because love as a concept as portrayed in these stories is all about possessing, about owning the object of love. दिलवाले को दुल्हनिया ले जाना है तभी प्यार होगा. Love here is about getting, it's about owning, it is about possessing. Whereas true love is about giving, it is about freedom and joy. Similarly, stories of Romeo and Juliet, Layla and Majnu, stories where the characters could not be with each other. Situations were such that it did not allow them to get married or be with each other. And then what happened? Their state of being became so miserable in separation, so weak, they thought that instead of seeing the next sunrise and living up to a day where one has to be alone and not in the presence of the other, they decided to call it a day. They decided to die. So it is a sign of weakness. These are stories of bondage. And that is exactly why the characters in these stories fell in love. But today, let us talk about a story where someone rose in love and rose so high that even today she is a benchmark, a 24-karat gold standard for what true love stands for. The story of Radha and her beloved Krishna. A couple of thousands of years ago, in a beautiful place called Vrindavan, where the chief occupation of the village was to rear cows and sell milk products. In such a village, in the house of Nanda, there was born a beautiful child called Krishna. He grew up to be a handsome lad, a very magnetic personality, and by his sheer personality, all the girls and the boys in the village were helplessly attracted by his pranks, by his leelas, by his miracles and his very personality. So much so that their whole life, their thoughts, their day, their night, everything revolved around Krishna, Krishna and Krishna. But of all of them, there was one by name Radha. And for her, Krishna was the be-all and end-all of her life. Her thoughts, her feelings, her very being revolved around Krishna and Krishna alone. Now one day, it so happened that Krishna decided that it is time for him to leave Vrindavan and go to Mathura to start the next chapter of his life. So as news of Krishna's departure spread through Vrindavan, naturally, everybody was depressed. And the most heartbroken was understandably Radha. It is said that once Krishna left for Mathura, he never came back to Vrindavan. But there is an undocumented story which states that Krishna did come back once. Though this story does not have the backing of any scriptural authority, nevertheless, it is a testimony of what the magic of true love can be. So according to this story, Krishna did come back to Vrindavan once. And when he comes to Vrindavan, he chooses to come in the middle of the night to a place which is in a jungle, a tree under which Radha and Krishna used to regularly meet. So he comes to this spot where this tree is nearby a beautiful flowing Yamuna river. So Krishna comes here and then sees Radha, who is totally lost in herself, sitting in contemplation. So Krishna comes, picks up his flute and plays a romantic tune. Radha opens her eyes, looks at Krishna, closes her eyes back. So Krishna comes close to Radha and says, Radha, your Krishna has come back. Radha opens her eyes, gets up and plucks a few leaves from the tree and tells Krishna, you are there in every leaf of this tree. She goes to the nearby Yamuna stream, takes a handful of cool Yamuna water, goes to Krishna and says, Krishna, you are there in every drop of this water. When you are there in every speck of this creation, where is the question of you going and coming? You were always there, Krishna. You are always there. Listening to this, Krishna becomes supremely happy. He tells Radha, Radha, I am so happy with your state of being now. Ask what you want today. It shall be granted. And Radha replies, Krishna, there is nothing that I need. I feel so complete. So Krishna told Radha that here is a blank check. Ask for whatever you want. It shall be granted today. And Radha said, Krishna, I am so complete in my love that it does not matter whether this love is reciprocated or not. And it is said that Krishna sank down on his knees, held the hands of Radha and said, Radha, for the first time, the Creator is on fully a receiving end from his creation. But then, at this point in time, there were no two. The Creator had become one with the creation. God had become one with his devotee. And the lover had become one with her beloved. Radha started as a lover of someone, but got transformed into love itself. Such was the beauty of Radha's selfless love. Such was the beauty of Krishna's alchemist nature. Alchemist nature because it transformed the baser feelings of attachment also, which when directed to the beautiful personality of Krishna, got transformed into magical, selfless, divine love itself. So here is the story of Radha, which started off as a song of love, but then it ended, rather continues even today, to be a duet of one and oneness.
Radhe Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe